right, welcome back. Last week, we poured the foundation, we built our garage, got our keys, and made sure our rig was secure. For those who are new here, my name's Greg.
I'm not some suit from Silicon Valley. I'm a Navy vet, a pipeline worker. I learned about risk with my hands, in the real world, long before I ever touched a blockchain. That foundation we built, that security-first mindset, that's non-negotiable. But a rig sitting in the garage doesn't do any work. Tonight, we fire up the engine and get on the road.
We're moving from theory to action. We're going to talk about a concept called yield farming. It's a weird term, but it's a simple idea: putting your money to work.
Think of it like being the toll booth operator on a busy highway. You help traffic flow, and you get a small piece of every transaction. You become part of the plumbing of the system. I'm going to walk you through a simple, relatively safe first farm that I like, using a trusted, blue-chip asset basket on Solana called JLP. More importantly, we're going to talk about risk. I'll show you a simple portfolio model to keep you balanced, to keep you disciplined, and to keep you from getting wrecked. This is the next step in your journey. You've got the tools, now it's time to learn how to use them. The lesson for week 2 starts now. Let's get to work.
Welcome back, everyone. I first want to start off by saying none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. That's the type of stuff that we'll be learning here. Last week, we built our foundation. We got our safety gear in order to set up our first Solana wallet and hammered home the golden rule: not your keys, not your crypto. You now have a secure garage and the keys to your own rig. Today, we put that foundation to work. We're moving from theory to action. This is the fun part. I'm going to show you what a yield farm is, and then we're going to walk through step by step how to enter your first position safely. We'll also cover a basic portfolio framework to help you manage risk and keep you from getting wrecked. Now let's get in it. Okay, so you've got some funds on your Phantom wallet. What now? You don't want it just sitting there collecting dust. You want it to work for you 24/7, even when you're sleeping. That's where yield farming comes in. Yield farming sounds weird, right? Forget the jargon. It's a simple concept. Think about a busy toll road. Cars are constantly paying to use it. A yield farm is like you putting up the money to help build a section of that road. In return, you get a piece of every single toll fee from the cars that drive over your section. In DeFi, the road is a trading pool, and the cars are people swapping tokens. When you provide your money or liquidity to that pool, you're helping the trades happen, and you earn a small fee from every single swap. You're putting your money to work as the plumbing for the market. So where do we start? We want a road that's busy, well-maintained, and built on solid ground. For a first farm, my go-to recommendation is something called JLP. JLP stands for Jupiter Liquidity Provider Token. Jupiter is the biggest exchange on Solana. It's the main highway interchange. The JLP token is a basket of the most important blue chip assets on Solana, like Sol, USDC, and some others, which we'll cover here in a little bit. It's like owning a piece of the 5 or 6 busiest highways all at once. It diversifies your risk right from the start. All right. Let's look at this in real time. This is where we get the keys to our section of the highway. Step 1, we're going to want to get JLP. So we're on Jupiter at juke.ag. First thing you do on any dApp is connect your wallet. You can see up here on the right, mine is already connected. You get a pop-up to approve it. Now we set up the swap. In your paying box, we'll see a stable coin like USDC. For this example, I'm going to swap the 5 USDC we transferred over last week. So in the box, down here to where we're buying, I'm going to want to find JLP. Or it's just right here, about 3. You could just type in JLP and all kinds of options pop up. We want the actual JLP token, which is right here, Jupiter Perps. Okay, so I'm going to swap the $5 that we that we sent over last week. I'm going to hit swap. Jupiter shows you the rate and any fees. It all looks good. We hit swap. Phantom pops up. I've got to enter my password. If I remember it. So you can see here, we're going to receive 0.93804 JLP at a value. We're going to trade out the $5 USDC that we had. It's the right network. We see the amount of fees we're paying. We hit confirm. And that's the most important part. Read what you're signing. It shows what's leaving your wallet, what's coming in. It looks good. So we approve. And just like that, we now have JLP in our wallet. We are now officially a liquidity provider for the biggest exchange on Solana. We can verify that by pulling up our wallet. Okay, it doesn't look like the swap went through. Let's try this again. Confirm. Transaction confirmed. I got that down here on the left. So let's double check. There it is. Now we've got our $5 worth of JLP. So we have the JLP. We're going to go to Kamino Finance. The JLP is still just sitting in our wallet. So to start earning those toll fees, we need to put it to work on a job site. For this, like I just said, we're going to use an app called Kamino Finance. Think of this as a trusted toolkit that helps you manage your yield farming positions. So you're going to want to find the JLP vault on Kamino. We go to the multiply section. You see this JLP vault right here. This one is the PYUSD, which is PayPal's USD stable coin. You got the USDG vault. You got the USDT vault. You can see that these are all paying around 60 to 70%. So I'm going to personally go to the USDC vault, mainly because, well, it usually has the most liquidity available. It looks like the PayPal USD vault has the most liquidity available right now and is paying the highest percentage. So we are going to deposit. I'm actually going to choose this one. We're going to hit deposit. We click into the vault and it gives us a ton of information. We're depositing JLP, which we just put in. You could pick the PYUSD, but we're going to go with JLP since that's what we just swapped into. You can see your balance here, but we want to understand the multiply lever. Now, this is a power tool. You see this leverage slider? By using multiply, you're borrowing against the JLP you deposit to get a larger position. It magnifies your results, both the fees you earn and the risk. If the value of the assets drop, you could get liquidated. We will cover liquidation risk in a future lesson. For today, for our first position, we're going to keep it simple. I recommend keeping it safe, using the lowest leverage setting or even no leverage if available. Me personally, I'm a little bit of a degen, so I'm going to go max leverage. We're going to use the max amount here possible. Once this updates, we're going to deposit and approve. Give it a second. Now we're going to hit the multiply JLP button. You can see here it's confirming one of two transactions. Okay, so this is the fee that it's charging us to open. Kamino's charging us to open it up, and then our network fee, we're gonna hit confirm. So select our JLP amount, confirm the ledgers is set to the safe level. The Phantom will pop up one last time to approve the transaction, as you can see right here. We read it, we confirm it, and that's it. You are now officially yield farming on Kamino. Your assets are on the job working for you. So we can verify this. We can go up to portfolio. We can now see that we got a net value of $4.94 working for us at earning approximately 63, almost 64% APY. Okay, back to the presentation. Before we go any further, we have to talk about risk. Farming isn't free money. The main risk you need to understand is called impermanent loss. It sounds complicated, but here's the simple version. Think of it like this. You supply lumber and steel to a construction site. If the price of steel triples overnight, you might have wished you just held on to the steel instead of putting it into the project. That's the basic idea. The fees you earn from the toll booth are meant to outweigh this risk over time. So how do we manage this? We use a plan. We don't just throw all of our money into one farm. You use a portfolio strategy. A simple, powerful one to start with is the 40-40-20 model. It's a way to divide up your playbook. 40% long-term holds, your core assets like SOL, BTC, ETH, the stuff you believe in long-term. 40% low-risk farms. This is where JLP fits in. Your reliable engine earning those daily fees. And then 20% speculation, high risk, high reward, new projects, meme coins, money you have to be willing to 100% willing to lose. This framework keeps you balanced and keeps you balanced and protects your foundation. Now, that was a lot of steps. So let me repeatable. Here you can see the week 2 module. Let's open this up. We've got our overview. You can see next we start with a checklist for every action. So you never miss a step. Then we have a deep dive into what JLP is. Then we have a full step-by-step visual guide, the exact steps we just took on how to go to Jupiter, swap for JLP, and then deposit safely on Kamino. And finally, we have the lesson on the 40-40-20 model to tie it all together. It's all designed to take you from A to Z without getting lost. All right, that's a lesson. I know we covered a lot of new ground there, so I'm going to open it up for questions. What questions do you have? Anything about JLP, Kamino, impermanent loss? Let's get them answered. I'll give a couple minutes here to see if any questions come through. I do see some people in the stream. I love to see that. What's going on, James? You got a question? Let me double check Discord. See if anybody from the Grudge community had any questions. Well, that being said, if you do have any questions, please feel free to post them. I will answer back. Put them in the comments and Twitter. Actually, I did forget to check Twitter. Let me see if I see any questions in there real quick. No, not looking like I see anything. I do appreciate everybody for coming out. I would really, really love any questions you guys have. Please feel free to send me a follow. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.